Alrighty guys, so this was how I began my research. It was by simply going to the create menu, create new world. Um, we'll name the world test. Alright, just name it test. Survival, doesn't really matter. Go to more options, and this is where I began. Seed for the world generator, you know? The way I obtained my fundamental values, which I'll later on post on my Instagram, I simply just put a letter, put A, for example, and I generated a world, just that one singular letter. Create world, and whichever value it gives me for the seed, you know, just for the letter A, that's what I'm taking as the fundamental value for A. Let's give it a little bit of time here. It's about finished. Alright, you don't have to look around. You can if you want. Look at the landscape. But I just exit and save because that's all you really need to do. You don't really need to waste a lot of time looking at anything. You go to play game and go to the test where we just were. And on the top left corner, it'll give you the seed, and it says 97. And then regardless of how many times you put, regardless of how many times you try, by just putting one A in there, it's always going to give you 97 as the output for the seed for that world. I did this same thing with every lowercase letter and uppercase letter, and every special symbol on the keyboard. And that is how I got my charts of fundamental values. This chart, it was the basis to understanding just the basic, not really basic of anything, but just understanding what the fundamental values for each thing was. It's going to be disregarded. It's just for the curiosity, you know. Each symbol holds a certain value. Ranges from 3 to 8,364. But as one would guess, all values that are in the alphabetic are in chronological order, meaning that like the alphabet, that's alphabetical order in this case. They're sequential, you know. A, uppercase A, well, lowercase a as we saw right now was simply 97. So that would make B 98, that would make C 99, that would make D 100. And it goes on all the way to Z, which has a value of 122. So that was the first step into my research, and it took a long time. I think that was like 6 hours of inputting the symbols and letting the worlds generate. So in that sense, that's how I got my fundamental values. Now, in order to be able to calculate something, you're going to need two different values that share a same constant. In that case, I created a world that I inputted two A's, you know, as my fundamental value. I just create the world. And then once we obtain that A value, we'll be able to then go ahead and make another world with an AB value. So we'll go ahead and exit. Now we'll go to play game. Check the new world. This is the value that we obtained for the AA value. So that's another fundamental value. So it's 3104. Now that we have that value, which is 3104, we're going to go ahead and create another world. With the seed, instead of AA, we're going to put in AB. Make sure they're lowercase because these characters are case sensitive, giving different values whether it's uppercase or lowercase. So we'll go ahead and create the world. Alrighty, sorry about that. Whoopsie daisy. There we go. Go ahead and exit and save. Don't want to have an error in here. Alright, so our AA value was 3104. So that's AA. I'll take that into consideration. AA equals 3104. Now, we're going to get the value of AB by looking at this new world that we did. The value of AB is 3105. Okay, as you would expect from the beginning, with all alphabetical values, they increase by 1 in their singularity, in their